Ahem. Ahem. The day has came. The day of reckoning has came. We will see tonight all-star small forward Paul George of the LA Clippers return back to action against the Utah Jazz. And what better way to do it than come back at home at the crypt to bring back PG-13, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't have asked for a better time to do it. So let's get into the video. All right, before I get started with my sentiments, um let me first give thanks to the people who've been following my channel since this whole thing. Like I said, I've been doing this for the last month as far as, updating y'all with the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Norman Powell news, all LA Clipper news on a consistent basis. And since that's been going on, my views have been going up, videos been going up, subscribers have been going up. So I really appreciate the bottom of my heart. Let's keep this going. Continue to subscribe, continue to like, continue to share the videos, share the knowledge. I'm not going to put out any information that is not accurate or doesn't have the best of my abilities. Like, again, I'd rather have it correct and be correct and be first. So let me just get out the way. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Let's keep this rocking. Let's go. All right, now back to business. PG-13 returns back to action tonight against Utah Jazz, and what a better time to return them back than tonight at home against Utah. Why do I say that? For a few reasons. Number one, Paul George is healthy and ready. He's been healthy and ready. Now, the process of what has been going on with Paul George the last week has been pretty much the rehab process. I told y'all basically how the rehab process goes. You go for Paul George, it was him shooting shots, right? Which was like a couple weeks ago, he was in the gym shooting jumpers with Terrence Mann. That was the first step of the rehab process. Then after that, they brought him in to have, a little 4-on-4 with the coaching staff, which is about a week and a half ago. They had a 4-on-4 with the coaching staff, and they're doing like a little light scrimmage and running. That was another rehab process because now you're going to do contact. Then what they've been doing the last few days, the last, 3 to 5 days, it's been, him scrimmaging with the team and practicing with the team. That's another step of the rehab process. So they're going up, 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 and they're checking the boxes to make sure that he's good to go. So he's been good on all the steps. So the last step, again, was this past Sunday. And Monday was him to go through another full practice, full contact engagement with his team. And from what the reports read, he was very, very successful. He didn't feel no pain, no tolerance, no backlash. He was throwing, behind the back passes with his right arm, with his right arm. So that's all check, check, check. So here we are on Tuesday. They have a game tonight on TNT. Go figure. Chris Haynes has been the guy who's been, talking about all the reports, going on with, the LA Clippers the last few weeks. So they're going to probably say it again, which is already going to happen, like Paul George will be returning. Ohm Yousmick. He's an NBA Inside reporter. Okay, that's OHM Yousmick. Yousmick. He's one of the top NBA reporters in the NBA today. He's the one that broke the story on ESPN. Paul George will be returning tonight. The only possibility him not returning is if he feels any pain in that right arm, with right elbow from any of the workouts he's been doing the last few days, which I'm never 100% on anything. Nobody's perfect, but based off the route and the direction we're going, we're going to see Paul George tonight, right? Now, I've been consistent with saying this for the last month that PG will return in March. And here we are on March 29th, and Paul George is returning. Never thought 1 second he was going to get surgery. Never thought 1 second that Paul George was going to sit out for the whole entire year. Never thought Paul George was milking this injury. Never thought any of that stuff. I had, based off of my own experience, the sources that I know and sentiments and stuff like that, Paul George is going to be coming back. Now, I'm going to confront the claim about Kawhi Leonard, so let's get into it. Now, while I did say Paul George would come back and we're going to be seeing him coming back, and let me also put this before I talk about Kawhi. Ohm Yousmick also reported that Norman Powell will be coming back within the next 7-10 days, very likely. So that puts him at next week, which is the first week of April, which pretty much I said as well, that's about the time that Norman Powell will be coming back. So that's going to be another addition to this Clipper team that's going to make them even stronger for reinforcement. So I just want to point that out. Norman Powell expected to be back with the team within the next 7 to 10 days, which is about the first week of April, like I, had said in the previous videos. But let's get into Kawhi. The sentiments about Kawhi right now really has not been talked about for the last few weeks since that workout with at the Golden State Arena a few weeks ago. There hasn't been really too many claims about Kawhi Leonard. I did mention that one of my last videos that Skip Bayless said that he was playing 5-on-5. I don't know if that was with the team or if that was with some of the other coaches or what, but he was playing 5-on-5, which means he's doing some contact. He's doing somewhat of a contact, even though they're not reporting it. Because like I said to y'all before, it's almost damn near impossible to doing 4-4, 5-on-5 action without any contact. It's really no point to doing it. If you're not gonna be touched, you might as well not even do 5-on-5. You know what I'm saying? But unless you're trying to get your conditioner or win back, but even then it's like just put them in contact. But that's bearing itself. What I'm starting to believe and what I'm starting to think, the Clippers are keeping everything under wraps when it comes to Kawhi Leonard. Again, like I said before, I don't know the specifics with the NBA policy and how it works about reporting different things about your players, but Kawhi, to me, there's no doubt in my mind that they're keeping stuff underneath in the organization, and they're going to pick the time to put him back in the NBA now, put him back in the roster on the team. Now, what the last report was about that I didn't really think was a very good report, they said Kawhi Leonard could be returning to the playoffs if they come out the playing game. Now, my thing is, like I said, is not very, very, to me, smart to do that because, again, you're putting a situation where Kawhi has to be 100% all in going into a high atmosphere without any real ramp-up games. I don't care who you are. I don't care what type of player you are. No one is going to be able to, what hasn't been done yet, where a player just comes out of nowhere after missing a year and just coming back and dominating. Maybe Kawhi Leonard will be the first person, but why put your star player in that position? And then why come back and say that you're trying to be precautionary with him when you open that door for him to come back? My whole thing is I'm not comfortable with Kawhi Leonard coming back without really any ramp-up games. It doesn't make sense to me. And I asked this question on one of my other videos. I'm like, is this a situation where Kawhi is legitimately unable to play, or are they just trying to hold him out as long as they can for the playing game and then possibly the playoffs? And I just hope they know what they're doing, because what sense does that make? Ty Lue said it himself. He said, I'm not comfortable putting them out there if they don't have no games under their belt. Paul George is going to get games. Norman Powell is going to get games. Your best player is no different. He needs a couple games under his belt, because the way it's looking right now, they're going to have to play either Phoenix or Memphis if they come out that play-in, which I'm pretty sure they will. They're going to have to deal with Phoenix or Memphis, both the two top teams in the Western Conference. So you're going to have to be making sure you know what you're doing by bringing him back like that. I know Kawhi is the best player in the playoffs, in my opinion, but even it's just not smart to me. I just don't like how that sounds. I think they need to give him a chance to, get back into condition, get ready. So that's the update on Kawhi Leonard right now. It's like pretty much, they're kind of still keeping things in the loop. But I believe, and I'm pretty sure of it, if Paul George and Norman Powell come back, then Kawhi Leonard is trying to be back as well, and he will come back, because it's like, what sense does that make? Paul George and Norman Powell, breaking their neck to come back to the team, and Kawhi Leonard is not even there. So we'll just have to see within the next couple weeks. Going to get very interesting. But like I said before, between March 22nd and April 1st, something will happen. Here we are. Paul George is coming back. Norman Powell was reported to be probably coming back within the next 7 to 10 days, which pretty much nobody was hearing much about Norman Powell. So we're going to see. It's going to be interesting, you know what I'm saying, next few weeks. But y'all continue to follow us on social media. You know what I'm saying? The Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. I like swimwear.